Brock Lesnar just exposed WWE's biggest secret, and the mystery man's identity will blow your mind. The conspiracy that's been plaguing WWE for months just got blown wide open by Brock Lesnar, and the identity of the mystery man who's been attacking superstars, sabotaging matches, and creating chaos throughout the entire company is someone so unexpected and so close to WWE's power structure that it changes everything we thought we knew about who controls the company. The Beast incarnate didn't just name the mystery attacker on Monday Night Raw. He revealed a plot so elaborate and so personal that multiple careers are now in jeopardy and the very foundation of WWE's authority is crumbling. Before I break down every shocking detail of Brock's revelation and expose why this mystery man's identity makes them the most dangerous person in WWE, answer me this: who did you think the mystery attacker was before Brock's reveal, and were you even close to the truth? Drop your guess in the comments, because I guarantee 99% of you are about to have your minds absolutely blown by who it actually is. The Mystery Man storyline has been WWE's most compelling long-term angle in years, with a hooded figure appearing sporadically to attack specific superstars without clear motive or pattern. The attacks seemed random at first, targeting people across different brands and different positions on the card, but as weeks turned into months, patterns started emerging that suggested the Mystery Man wasn't working alone and wasn't just causing chaos for the sake of chaos. Every attack served a purpose, removing specific people from matches, affecting championship pictures, and benefiting certain wrestlers while destroying others. The intelligence behind the attack suggested someone with deep knowledge of WWE's inner workings and long-term booking plans. Survivor Series became a pivotal moment in the Mystery Man saga when multiple attacks occurred throughout the night, with the hooded figure appearing at crucial moments to affect match outcomes and create controversy. The boldness of operating so openly at WWE's second biggest event of the year suggested the Mystery Man felt invincible, protected by someone powerful enough that they could commit these acts without fear of consequences. Security seemed incompetent or deliberately looking the other way. Officials acted confused rather than taking decisive action. The whole situation reeked of conspiracy and corruption within WWE's management structure. Quick question for you: what was your favorite mystery attacker angle in wrestling history before this one? Let me know in the comments, because this storyline might have just surpassed every previous example. Brock Lesnar's involvement in solving this mystery came after he himself became a target of the Mystery Man following Survivor Series. The Beast was attacked backstage after his match, jumped by the hooded figure and several accomplices who managed to temporarily subdue even someone as physically dominant as Lesnar. The attack on Brock was significant because it showed the Mystery Man was fearless enough to target WWE's most legitimate fighter and dominant physical specimen. But attacking Brock turned out to be a fatal miscalculation, because unlike other victims who were left confused and intimidated, Brock got angry and decided to use his resources and connections to hunt down whoever dared to put hands on him. The investigation Brock conducted was apparently extensive and involved calling in favors from people throughout the industry. Paul Heyman's connections, Brock's own network of contacts from his UFC days, and some old-fashioned detective work through reviewing footage and interviewing witnesses eventually led Brock to the truth. When he demanded time on Raw to reveal his findings, WWE management allegedly tried to convince him to wait, to let them handle it internally, which only confirmed to Brock that the conspiracy went higher than anyone realized and that people in power were trying to protect the Mystery Man's identity. Brock's entrance on Raw was different than his typical confident swagger. He looked focused and angry in a way that suggested this revelation was personal and serious beyond just wrestling storyline. He had Paul Heyman by his side, and the Wiseman looked equally intense and ready to drop information that would shake WWE to its core. Brock grabbed a microphone and got straight to business without any of his usual posturing or playing to the crowd. "I know who the Mystery Man is. I know who's been attacking people throughout this company for months. I know who's been sabotaging matches and creating chaos. And I know who's been protecting him and helping him get away with it. What I'm about to tell you is going to change everything, and a lot of people in the back are going to be very uncomfortable when I'm finished talking." The tension in the arena was suffocating as Brock prepared to reveal the identity. Fans were on the edge of their seats. Social media was exploding with speculation and theories being thrown around in real time. Commentary had gone quiet, recognizing that Brock was about to say something genuinely significant rather than typical worked promo content. Then Brock delivered the bombshell that made the entire wrestling world gasp: the Mystery Man, the person who's been hiding under that hood and attacking people for months, is Shane McMahon, Vince's son. The prodigal son who everyone thought left WWE years ago has been here the entire time, working in the shadows to destabilize the company and position himself to take control when the chaos reaches critical mass. The revelation that Shane McMahon is the Mystery Man sent shockwaves through the arena and immediately created more questions than answers. Shane had been away from WWE for years following various backstage disagreements about his role and creative direction. His return had been speculated about constantly but never materialized in any official capacity. The idea that he'd been secretly operating as a terrorist within his own family's company seemed insane, yet Brock's confidence in making the accusation suggested he had proof that backed up the explosive claim. Do you think Shane McMahon being the mystery man makes sense based on his history with WWE, or does this feel like a reach? Share your reaction in the comments section. But Brock wasn't finished destroying reputations. He continued with even more damaging revelations about who's been helping Shane, and Shane hasn't been working alone. He's had help from someone inside WWE's power structure, someone who's been feeding him information about schedules and security, someone who's been protecting him from consequences every time he attacks someone. That person, Shane's accomplice in this conspiracy, is Triple H. The same man who's supposed to be running this company, the same man you all trust to make the right decisions, has been working with Shane McMahon to create chaos and consolidate their power while pretending to be the good guy who cares about talent and the future of WWE. The accusation that Triple H has been complicit in the mystery man's actions was even more explosive than revealing Shane's identity because it directly implicated WWE's current leadership in a conspiracy against their own roster. If true, it meant that the attacks, the chaos, the undermining of certain wrestlers and elevation of others were all part of a calculated plan by people at the highest levels of company management. The implications for trust between talent and leadership were catastrophic. How could any wrestler trust Triple H going forward if he'd been secretly enabling attacks on his own roster for months? The locker room culture and morale would be destroyed if this accusation was substantiated. Paul Heyman then took the microphone to provide additional context and evidence supporting Brock's accusations. The Wiseman detailed specific instances where security footage showed Shane McMahon entering WWE buildings through unauthorized entrances at times that coincided with Mystery Man attacks. Heyman described how analysis of the Mystery Man's build, movement patterns, and fighting style all matched Shane's physical characteristics and background. Most damning, Heyman revealed that phone records obtained through Brock's investigation showed extensive communication between Shane McMahon and Triple H throughout the period when Mystery Man attacks were occurring, with messages allegedly coordinating timing and targets. The video evidence that WWE then displayed on the Titantron provided visual confirmation of Heyman's claims. Footage showed Shane McMahon, with his distinctive features visible despite attempts at disguise, entering WWE venues through back entrances while carrying the same duffel bag that the Mystery Man was seen with before attacks. Another clip showed Shane and Triple H meeting in what appeared to be a parking garage, having a conversation that looked secretive and conspiratorial. The body language and setting suggested this wasn't an innocent family conversation but rather co-conspirators coordinating their plans. While the footage didn't have audio and couldn't definitively prove the conspiracy's full extent, it provided enough circumstantial evidence to make Brock's accusations credible rather than baseless allegations. Have you ever seen security footage used to expose a wrestling conspiracy? Comment examples below because this evidence felt more real and less staged than typical WWE reveals. Triple H's response was immediate, with the game's music hitting before Brock had even finished presenting his evidence. Triple H stormed to the ring looking genuinely angry, though whether the anger was real frustration at being exposed or worked emotion as part of a storyline was impossible to determine. Hunter grabbed a microphone and confronted Brock directly. "You come out here and make these accusations against me? Against my family? You think you can just throw around conspiracy theories without proof and without consequences? I've dedicated my life to this company, to building it into something greater than it's ever been, and you're going to stand there and accuse me of sabotaging my own life's work? You've lost your mind, Brock, and you're about to lose a lot more if you don't retract these lies immediately." The confrontation between Brock Lesnar and Triple H crackled with tension that felt layered beyond typical heel versus face dynamics. Both men have legitimate tough guy credentials and real-life friendship history that added authenticity to their confrontation. The possibility of these two physically fighting felt real in a way that generated genuine concern about where this situation could go. Brock didn't back down from Triple H's threats, responding with measured intensity. "I showed the evidence, Hunter. Everyone saw Shane entering buildings when attacks happened. Everyone saw you two meeting secretly. You can deny it all you want, but the truth is out there now, and no amount of political maneuvering or intimidation is going to put this genie back in the bottle. You and Shane wanted to control WWE through chaos and fear? Well, now you're going to face the consequences when this entire roster realizes what you've been doing and decides they've had enough." Shane McMahon's entrance music hitting completed the confrontation's main players assembling in the ring. Shane walked out with that trademark cocky swagger, actually smiling as if he was proud that his identity had been revealed rather than embarrassed or defensive about being exposed. Shane's opening words were chilling in their casualness. "Brock figured it out. Good for you, I guess. Yeah, I've been the mystery man. Yeah, I've been attacking people, sabotaging matches, creating chaos throughout WWE for months. And you know what? It's been fun. It's been liberating to operate without the McMahon name attached, to cause problems without anyone knowing who I really was. But now that you know, now that everyone knows, let me tell you why I did it and what comes next. Shane's explanation of his motivations provided context that transformed him from mysterious villain into calculating revolutionary with a twisted vision for WWE's future. According to Shane, he watched his father build WWE into an empire only to see that empire handed to Triple H, someone Shane views as an outsider who married into the family rather than someone with actual McMahon blood. Shane claimed he deserved control of WWE based on lineage and birthright, and that his attacks were designed to expose Triple H as incompetent and unable to maintain order, thereby justifying Shane taking over as the rightful heir to WWE's throne. The entitlement and arrogance in Shane's justification made him an instantly hateable villain while also providing comprehensible motivation for his actions. What do you think about Shane's claim that WWE leadership should be based on family bloodline? Is that legitimate or entitled nonsense? Share your take in the comments. The revelation that Triple H might have been complicit in Shane's attacks added complexity because Hunter's motivations remained unclear. Was Triple H actually working with Shane, and if so, why? Was this a case of Hunter playing both sides, appearing to run WWE legitimately while secretly enabling Shane's chaos? Or was Shane lying about Hunter's involvement to create division and weaken opposition to his eventual takeover attempt? The ambiguity created fascinating tension where fans didn't know who to trust or what the actual power structure looked like behind WWE's corporate facade. The locker room's reaction to these revelations reportedly caused the most chaotic backstage scene in years. Multiple wrestlers stormed into management areas demanding answers about whether they'd been lied to and whether their own attacks or setbacks were part of Shane and Triple H's conspiracy. People who'd lost championship opportunities or suffered mysterious injuries that benefited specific wrestlers were now questioning whether those incidents were legitimate or orchestrated. The trust between talent and management was shattered, creating a volatile environment where authority had been completely delegitimized and nobody knew who was actually in control or what rules still applied. Seth Rollins' involvement became crucial as he appeared later in the show, positioning himself as the locker room's representative demanding accountability from Shane and Triple H. Seth's history with the Authority storylines and his complex relationship with Triple H added layers to his confrontation with management. Seth demanded that both Shane and Triple H step down from their positions pending independent investigation, and he threatened to lead a roster strike if demands weren't met. The work-shoot nature of threatening a strike blurred reality and fiction in ways that made fans genuinely uncertain about what was real grievance versus storyline drama. CM Punk's reaction to the Shane revelation was particularly interesting given his own complicated history with WWE management and his previous criticisms of corporate corruption within the company. Punk released a statement saying, "I told everyone years ago that WWE was corrupt, that the McMahons played games with people's careers, that management can't be trusted. Everyone called me bitter and said I was just complaining. Well, look what just got exposed. Shane McMahon and Triple H conspiring to manipulate outcomes and attack people? That's exactly the kind of thing I was warning about. And maybe now people will believe me when I say this company has systemic problems that go way beyond just booking decisions." Punk's vindication added another dimension to the story and positioned him as someone whose previous accusations now seemed more credible in light of Shane's conspiracy being revealed. The legal implications if any of Shane's attacks caused legitimate injuries could be severe. Wrestlers who suffered real damage from Mystery Man attacks could potentially sue both Shane personally and WWE corporately for failing to provide a safe working environment and for allowing management's family member to assault employees. The conspiracy's revelation opened WWE to massive legal liability that their attorneys are probably scrambling to address through settlements and non-disclosure agreements before lawsuits start filing. Social media has been absolutely nuclear with reactions, theories about which attacks were real versus worked, and debates about whether this entire reveal was planned storyline or legitimate exposure of actual backstage corruption. The hashtag #McMahon conspiracy trend worldwide, with millions of people discussing the implications and arguing about what's real. The engagement has been massive, generating exactly the kind of conversation and mainstream attention that WWE wants, though the line between good publicity and damaging controversy is thin when accusations involve workplace violence and management corruption. So here's my final question, and I want honest gut reactions. Do you believe that Shane McMahon being revealed as the Mystery Man is legitimate storyline that's been planned for months, or do you think there's actual real-life family power struggle happening and Brock exposed something WWE didn't want public? And regardless of whether it's real or worked, do you think this storyline makes Triple H look weak as a leader and damages his credibility running the company going forward? Get in those comments right now and share your perspective, because this revelation either sets up incredible storytelling for the next several months or it exposes dysfunction in WWE's leadership that could have serious long-term consequences for the entire organization.